Hi, welcome to another episode of the You Only Live Once Life and Business Innovation Style Meditations, Yummy Conversations, where I, honey, bring you yummy conversations so that you can stay yummy in your body. And today, well, if you haven't gotten this book yet, feel free to get it. It's at one of the links below. It's all about how to live your You Only Live Once life and your business. And today we're going to be talking about orgasmic tips, 5 ways to maximize your orgasm on your own. So you don't need to rely on a partner. You don't need to rely on anyone else but yourself. So you can do this anywhere, anytime. And this applies to both male and females, but it will take in consideration the expansive definition of orgasm. All right, so without further ado, let's jump in. So the biggest challenge is that sometimes we feel that our pleasures are in the hands of another person. And so if we don't have another person, then we won't get pleasure. So while that can be really great for some people, and they're really good at picking up women, or they're really good at doing one-night stands, it's a bit challenging if, let's say, it's not physically convenient at the moment, or you're in a relationship and you're trying to figure out how to get that yourself. Because a person's pleasure should never be constricted in terms of how much you can get from other people, but it's more about you and your potential of experiencing pleasure. So in this video, we're going to be talking about 5 steps on how to improve your pleasure right now, right here, that you can do even during the video if you want. All right, so the first one is to list your sensual, aroused states. Like, think about the most aroused that you have ever been. Closing your eyes and just breathe in, pulling your attention to your genitals or anywhere in your body that you feel most aroused. And imagine a time in which you were most aroused by. You just felt so turned on. You just felt like you want to jump out of your skin, or you feel like you're just so sexy and so enthusiastic and so excited and just so ravished. Whatever that feeling is, I want you to list them all down. So step 1 is listing down every single time that you've been extremely aroused and extremely turned on. Get a piece of paper and just list it all down, okay? And the benefit of this is that when you can draw from other experiences in which you already have felt aroused, you can always bring in those arousal into your experience today and right now. So you don't have to start from 0, but you can already start feeling the sensations in your body. I have a lot of people who reply to my email course, and they tell me, just by watching the video, they start feeling the energies. And if you haven't listened to my podcast yet, I actually bring people through a sensual orgasmic experience on the podcast itself. And people actually experience that. The hosts were orgasming in the sensual way. All right, so step number 2 is to see each of these aroused experiences, whether that is in your past or that is in your present or super far in the past, or even an ex or an experience that you have with someone you no longer are in contact with. See them as a seed. So step 2 is see each experience you've had, bracket sensually, as a seed to so many more experiences and pleasures that you can experience. So what does that mean? It means that every single point on your list is a seed that you can grow. You can water and you can grow and you can receive and experience even more sensation from, even more pleasure from. And when you can expand your own pleasure, not only does that infiltrate your body and your mind and your energy and the way that you hold yourself and the way that you experience and enjoy yourself, but it also oozes out to the rest of the room and the rest of the people, and your energy will infect other people as you pleasure yourself, as you pleasure others. You don't have to touch them for this to happen. It automatically happens when you self-pleasure. So those seeds, when you see them as seeds and you can expand upon them, you can always bring them back into your head, see them as seeds, pick one of the seeds and start exploring it further. Exploration is key. So the next action is pick one of the seeds you want to explore. Okay, the third point and the third secret and the third way to reach even more orgasms on your own is when you're on your own, and you can do this physically by touching yourself, or you can do this mentally by visualizing the experience that you've picked one of those seeds in, and you can combine it with touch. Or you can also listen to it and imagine yourself being spoken to in the way that you want to be spoken to, or the way that arouses you. And also, you can also imagine a situation in your head and maybe even conceptually arouse yourself. So there are 4 different senses and sensory ways in which you can create an experience for yourself for maximum arousal and maximum pleasure in that given moment in time, and hold everything perfect, by the way. And so the biggest challenge is if you don't take advantage of it, it might take much longer for you to experience pleasure. And so once you've picked that seed, now you can see, visualize, what is the sight around this? You can pick one of these. Listen, like, is it the way that someone talks to you that makes you feel aroused? And if it is, can you look in the mirror and talk to yourself that way? Can you just voice out the voice that way? Can you listen to something that makes you feel that way? Sound, so V for visual, A for audible, sound, K kinesthetic, feeling. Can you touch yourself in a way that feels that way? So kinesthetic. And then brain, intellectually. Can you stimulate yourself intellectually? Your brain is the biggest sex organ. So can you stimulate yourself in a way that makes you feel aroused? So pick one of these sensations and expand that seed. That's step number 3. Fourth is now turn up the volume of that pleasure. Turn up the volume of that pleasure. What does this mean? This means that once you have experienced the sensation run through your body, can you be so sensitive that you can trace the sensations running through your body? And where does it begin? Where does it end? And how can you magnify that in your body through the feelings and the intuitive experiences? How can you increase the sensitivity that you have so that you can have more units of pleasure in every second that you experience this sensation? And so this is actually an incredible gift that you can have, so that you don't have to trap yourself in only a set amount of pleasure per second, because the biggest misconception is that pleasure is a binary thing. You either have it or you don't. No, pleasure is so much spectrum. It contains so many varieties, up and down, like X, Y, and Z axis, that you have to explore it. So see it as a discovery process, and every time you dive into your pleasure, it's a different answer, it's a different sensation, it's a different experience. See what you can experience today, see what you can experience now, see what you can expand, and can you turn up the volume in color? Can you turn up the volume in sensation? Can you turn up the volume in every way possible? And see what your body feels. And don't put any pressure on yourself, just feel. All right, and the last, 5th step is to practice this often, daily if possible. You only have to use a minute a day. Let's practice this often. We have a course that's free at the second that takes you through the 5-minute orgasm experience. It does say that it's for the female model of orgasms, which basically means how do you expand it as opposed to rush straight to the climax. But when you take this course, you're going to be able to have even broken more down into baby steps so that you can experience and build upon the sensual journey that you're on and can feel more orgasmic, not only in your body, but you can see how this energy leads to abundance, and that level of energy leads to success in all areas of your life. How you can build the success, build the feeling of fulfillment and pleasure and happiness in you, and how you can transmutate it into the rest of your world. And the link of the course is yoloabundance.com/orgasm. It will be in the descriptions below if you want to really take this pleasure forward. You've got to take action. You've got to experience it, and you've got to expand your orgasm in order to know the capacity and the potential and the infinite possibility that you have. I recently experienced what it feels like to experience new possibilities and new sensations, and sometimes to the point of I could imagine this keep growing. If I didn't even stop it, it would continue growing. And so that is what's possible. And I hope that you can find your orgasm anywhere, anytime, and especially right after this video. So go ahead and sign up for that course, like and subscribe to hear more of these tips, and along with that, have a beautiful, sensual, yummy journey. Wait, let me just show you real quick what this course looks like. Okay, so once you click on the link, it will look something like this. And then all you have to do is just click here and then enter your email in there. And then you're gonna get to know how to activate your yummy orgasm, 2 most important questions, number 1 block, 3 practical skills, how to train your partner if you have one, and how to experience your yummy orgasm in 5. Anyway, these are all the things. I know you can do it. It's so much fun. And even if you're experienced in this already, there's still so much more to discover. As we know, this is a whole lifetime of experience. Talk to you soon. See you in the next video.